Hey everybody, how's it going? And welcome back to another MAMJ Let's Play of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. When we left off, we did a little bit of fingerprinting, and now we have some evidence, although I don't know how it's going to help us in this trial, because everything is up in the air. There's two people that were allegedly murdered, even though it's the same person in two different locations. I don't know what's going on. Maybe the fingerprints will help, maybe not. Maybe Edgeworth knows something that we don't, although it's going to be a very, very rough day, I'm sure, to say the least. So, what do you think, Mr. Wright? I think the prosecution's as confused as we are. After all, the victim was murdered in two different places at the same time. And a different suspect was arrested at the other crime scene. Lana! Good morning, Mr. Wright. I apologize for yesterday. I was indisposed. I hope they didn't hold you too long for questioning. We just finished, actually. I'm used to all-nighters, though. So, how'd it go? It's as Mr. Wright suspects. The police are clueless. I figured as much, so I struck a plea bargain. A plea bargain? What do you mean by that? We agreed that if I told them the truth behind this simultaneous murder, they wouldn't seek capital punishment. That's what I mean, Emma. But Lana, don't tell me you... Much to my regret, I'm as much in the dark about this as they are. Miss Skye. We discovered traces left by a certain person in the police department's evidence room. They belong to Officer Jake Marshall. You found Officer Marshall's traces? Blood-stained fingerprints, to be exact. That's the trump card I have up my sleeve today. You do understand what this means, don't you? In order to defend my sister, you're gonna accuse Mr. Marshall. We have to play the cards we're dealt. Isn't that right, Miss Skye? Do what you have to do, Mr. Wright. Okay, if you say so. I'm sure Edgeworth has a couple trump cards up his sleeve, though. Court is now in session for the trial of Miss Lana Skye. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution is... I told you. I'm afraid you'll have to clarify. It takes 30 minutes by car to reach criminal affairs from the prosecutor's office. The victim, Bruce Goodman, was slain at both places at the same time. But that's not physically possible, is it? What's more, I hear the victim from the evidence room just disappeared. Yes, and the body eventually reappeared in the trunk of Mr. Edgeworth's car. Wow, this is one messed up trial. One of my duties as prosecutor is to present impartial evidence. Today, I will present evidence relating to the murder at the police department. In so doing, I believe the way in which we should proceed will reveal itself. Now that's what sets Mr. Edgeworth apart. He sounds so on top of things, even though he doesn't know what's going on himself. And that's supposed to be an admirable trait? Seriously. Very well. Let the trial resume. On the day of the crime, what exactly transpired at the police department? Mr. Edgeworth, you may call your first witness of the day to the stand. For its first witness, the prosecution calls the suspect of the murder that occurred at the police department. The suspect? You mean the so-called murderer. Officer Meekins? Ooh, boy. Things are getting wild from the get-go. I don't know if Edgeworth knows what he's getting into. Meekins is, interesting. Will the witness please state his name and occupation? Yes, sir. I am Officer Mike Meekins, sir. My occupation is, that would be murderer, sir. So you're telling us that you're a professional killer? Sir, it was me, sir. I'm the one who did it. I'll never kill anyone again, sir. You've got to believe me, sir. Actually, what we'd like to hear from you is, sir, I'm what you call part of the younger generation, sir. A person whose actions adults can't possibly comprehend. Please, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Help me, sir. Officer Meekins. Yes, sir. Give us your report of the crime. Consider that an order. Yes, sir, as you wish. After all, I am part of the generation that must be told what to do, sir. You can't fault him for a lack of enthusiasm. I guess. Oh, he's already given us testimony. Alright. Although it's not my normal duty, sir, I was assigned to guard the evidence room that day. I spotted a suspicious man on the security screen and rushed into the room. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. I was suddenly attacked. I fought for my life. Then I did it. After that, I passed out until another officer smacked me awake. Smacked you awake? So the victim, Detective Goodman, attacked you. Do unto others before they do unto you. That's the Meekins family motto, sir. I see. Then you fainted and a colleague helped you regain consciousness by slapping you in the face. Yes, sir. He knocked me upside the head, sir. Very well. The defense may begin its cross-examination. What I need here is more info to work with. Yeah, we need to press everything, I think. Because Meekins, he's a bit scattered. Okay, so although it's not your normal duty, you were assigned to it. Why? Mr. Meekins, you work in the General Affairs Department, do you not? Yes, sir. I am in charge of hiring new recruits, sir. Yikes. Now there's a scary thought. Evidence transferal was taking place on the day of the crime, which meant many officers were given special tasks not ordinarily performed. I was in charge of guarding the Blue Badger, sir. The Blue Badger? Yes, sir. The lovely police mascot created by the head detective, sir. I was to ensure it wasn't broken during the transferal process. That was my sole mission for the day, sir. It wasn't broken? Why was it being transferred? I see. Sounds like a very, important mission. After the award ceremony finished that day, there were so many people running around that I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. Oh, so that's why you went to the evidence room. Tell us, what did you see when you got there? So he put the Blue Badger wasn't in the evidence room. Alright. In order to enter the evidence room, you need an ID card, am I correct? Precisely, sir. I have one right here around my neck. So then, your ID number should be listed in here, right? What? There it is! I found it! It's the one right here! Could you please read us the number? Yes, sir! It's 4989596. That's my number, sir. I see. Huh? But the number 4989596 is shown as being used twice. Please explain, witness. It's no real mystery, sir. The first time is when I relocated the Blue Badger to the evidence room. And the second time is when I went to go get him after everything settled down. I see. So it was during that second time then. Yes, sir. That's when I was that was when I spotted the man on the security screen. I can't read because my voice is going out. Meekins, don't talk so much. I was only doing what I was trained to do, sir. It was suddenly attacked. Okay. I need to press everything. So you were attacked. Can you please tell us exactly what happened to you? It was a knife, sir. A knife. Detective Goodman pulled a knife on you. What happened then? Well, with me charging in on him like that, he looked as surprised as I was. You weren't exactly the kind of person someone would want to run into. Aww, that's when I reacted, sir. I swung my arms like an octopus, struggling to detain him. That's how I got this gash on my hand. Maybe if you just kept your cool, your hand wouldn't be. When I saw the blood trickling down my arm, I panicked. I grabbed the man by his collar. Did you now? Huh, okay. Because that would leave blood on his jacket. What exactly do you mean when you said you did it? I know I don't look the type, but I'm really into kung fu films, sir. The man let his guard down for an instant, so I snatched a knife from him. You took his knife? I spun around and performed a disarming maneuver. I made sure to close my eyes like a man. See. He must have been desperate. The next thing I knew, his white coat was drenched in a sea of my blood. And then the next thing I knew, yes, he punched me right in my face, sir. Meekins. About what time did you regain consciousness? No offense, sir, but how am I supposed to know that? I was unconscious. Oh, right. According to the report from the officer that woke up the witness, it was about 5:30. He hit me right in the head, too. I woke up crying tears of pain. That's nice. I mean, it's nice that you recovered, that is. When I came around, though, I made sure to finish my mission, sir. Your mission? Yes, sir. The Blue Badger, sir. I returned into the entrance before things got out of hand. Well, we can all rest easy now. I believe we now have a fairly accurate picture of what happened. Yes, Your Honor. Only one thing remains unclear. Was the man this officer murdered really the victim? He's got a point. Yes, Officer Meekins? With regard to that, sir? Take a look at this. It was sent to my cell. Chief Gant delivered it to me just this morning, sir. The chief delivered it? What is that? A videotape? Yes, sir. That's absolutely right, sir. A videotape, sir. It contains footage from the security camera in the evidence room. Objection! What? But I specifically asked if there was such a tape, and was told it had been mistakenly erased. That's quite a mistake. I just do what I'm told, sir. It's the only thing I'm really good at. Looks like communication with the police department's as good as ever. Well then, let's have a look. Show us the video of you murdering the victim. Oh, please stop using that word murder, sir. It scares me. A video of a real murder? Just what are we getting ourselves into? I don't know. Hi, Blue Badger. Alright, so somebody walks by. Meekins sneaking around. Really doesn't show anything, does it? Fun. Well, I believe we're all thinking the same thing. How can we deal with these unsettling feelings stirred within us? What the hell was that wriggling piece of plywood? Sir, that's the pride and joy of the criminal affairs department, sir. It's a Blue Badger, sir. Why am I not surprised this isn't going smoothly? Thanks. Yes, well, anyway. This tape seems to prove that the witness did indeed encounter someone in the evidence room, and in some sort of activity took place. Your Honor, instead of relying on clearly incomplete footage, the witness's testimony will suffice. Is that all right with you, Officer Meekins? Yes, sir. As you wish, sir. Alright, so we're probably gonna have to use the videotape against whatever he's saying. His face can't be clearly seen in the video, but there's no question that the other person was Detective Goodman, sir. I mean, he opened the locker which required Detective Goodman's fingerprint to do. The locker he opened is unquestionably Detective Goodman's locker, sir. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Well, what's this about a fingerprint? Each detective has been given a locker, equipped with a fingerprint-activated lock. These locks ensure that each locker can only be opened by the detective it belongs to. Intriguing. That would mean the victim at the crime scene would have had to have been Detective Goodman. And very well, the defense may begin its cross-examination. I don't know where this cross-examination will lead, but everything begins with contradictions. That's where I have to start. Okay. We know we can't see it in the video. Why is there no question? Well, because of the locker, of course, but you don't know that for sure, do you? You never actually saw Detective Goodman's face. Well, I suppose you might say that. That is, if you must label people as having seen or not seen it. Since his face can't be identified in the video, only you can verify it. But why is everyone looking at me? If I had to label your stares as disturbing or... Meekins. Meek! Having been shown a questionable video at best, we are not in the best of moods. Now please, be more certain when you testify. Yes, sir! You claim this man who brandished a knife on you was Bruce Goodman. Tell us why you are positive it was him. Okay, so we needed his fingerprints. About these lockers, is there no other way to open them? No, sir. I myself tried all kinds of methods in the past. They only respond to registered fingerprints, sir. I wonder what kind of methods he's tried. If the man opened the locker's lock, which only responds to the registered fingerprints, then he must be the person the locker was assigned to. Exactly my point, sir. And this too. Okay, unquestionably his locker. How do you know that information? I've heard rumors, sir, from the people in the know, sir. People in the know? The workers in the department cafeteria, sir. They keep me informed. They also listen to my romantic troubles, sir. He's just like, oh god. For the record, the open locker did indeed belong to Detective Goodman. I verified this information through a more reliable source. So the victim opened the locker with his own fingerprint. So it must be him. No one else could have unlocked it. Are you sure? However, the most important detail is not shown in this video. The man's face. Sir, if I may say something, sir. Please do. After all, you are the one being examined. I don't understand why the man's face is so important in this case, sir. I mean, it was his hand that opened the fingerprint lock. And it was his hand that tried to thrust his knife into my body, sir. My unsettled state can testify to this, sir. Yes, you have a point. The footage doesn't lie. That is, unless the defense can find a problem with it. Mr. Wright, let's check the court record again. Is there a problem with the security video? There has to be. Regarding the video contained on this tape, there is one thing in particular that seems rather strange. Strange? This contradiction leads to a possibility that the man may not be Detective Goodman. What? This video contains such a contradiction. Interesting. Your Honor, I have a proposal. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth? I propose we have the defense point out to us this alleged contradiction in the video. He would want me to point it out. Yeah, he's like Byakuya. Very well. Proposal accepted. Let us further inspect this piece of evidence. I will now play the security tape. Mr. Wright, please show us the contradiction you speak of. I have to point out a problem in the video. This is the first time I've ever had to do that. You can do it, Mr. Wright. It's set up so you can fast forward, rewind, or pause the video. Just take a good look and be sure to point out the right thing. Please, don't play it too many times. I can't stand watching the video. How did this guy ever become a police officer? Now then, Mr. Wright, please enlighten us. Where is the contradiction that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman? Oh god, okay, so I need to figure this out. Okay, nothing there. I was hoping I could see like a glove or something. Is he wearing a glove? I don't know. Wait, what's that? Something fell out. Okay. Hang on, I'm still looking to see because there's a light lit up above it. That That light right there in the middle. I'm wondering if it's gonna change or something, like if it's a different locker. I doubt it, because Edgeworth already examined it and checked it through more reliable sources. But I don't know. Wait. Hold on. Something's weird. There! At the end! There's... Hang on, I'll show you guys. Okay, come on, where was it? This! Why is it sticking out now? That's weird. The thing that's strange about this video has got to be this. Yes, that is strange. Something certainly seems unnatural about that. What could it mean? Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Wright, but you seem to have forgotten the point of this exercise. The point? What you are looking for is one thing and one thing only. Something that indicates the man may not be Detective Goodman. Oh, yeah. Phew. I almost walked right into the defense's trap. I'll place him under arrest, sir. Rats. I need to slow down and tackle these things one piece at a time. There's something in that video, but like, did you guys see that? Like, the piece of cloth is in there at the very end, which means somebody opened that locker and closed it, which is gumshoes. I don't know. I need to look at this tape again. There's something else in there besides that piece of paper. Let's try this again. Just remember one thing, Mr. Wright. Every time you point your finger, someone gets hurt. But he's the one pointing his finger. I will not. Okay, let's see if it's a piece of paper. Although I don't think it is. But I mean, there's nothing else I can really look at. I don't think. Wait, it's already open. The light's already on. That's what it is. Right? Officer Meekins. Sir, do you mean me, sir? As I understand it, the locker apparatus works like this. That's what it was! The light was on! How did I miss that? Oh my god. When you grab the handle, a sensor reads your fingerprint. If the print matches the registered data, the light turns on and the lock is released. According to my very limited experience, that's the way I understand it, sir. If so, then something's seriously wrong with this picture. Oh, this music. When the victim reaches for the handle to open the locker, let's rewind to a little earlier. I know this! I already pointed it out! Why are we being weird? It's such a smooth rewind. There. Here, notice the light? What's this? It's already lit! Precisely my point, Your Honor. The locker was already open before the victim grabbed the handle. I love it. Order! Order! What is the meaning of this? It's very simple, Your Honor. The locker wasn't locked on the day of the crime. But the locker locks are controlled by an electronic system. When a door is shut, a sensor is triggered, and the locker is automatically locked. Oh, I know! It must have been broken down. Of course, I'm not an expert on this. That's not likely, Your Honor. The sensor would detect and report any malfunction. Oh well, it just goes to show novices should keep their mouths shut. So then, Mr. Wright, do you have an explanation? Me, Your Honor? Yes. Why hasn't the locker locked? Me, Your Honor? Yes, well, you see, this isn't exactly my field. What do you think, Miss Scientific Investigator? Huh? Oh, maybe something like jam the electronic system. Something jam the sensor? Say... There's something else that seems out of place in this video. Yeah, I thought so too. There's gotta be another clue somewhere in this footage. Very well. Let's inspect the video once more. The locker wasn't locked. Mr. Wright, please point out the cause for this. Easy enough, I'm already on it. I'm already all over it. We need the quote-unquote good man. There it is. Okay, let me go back like a frame or two. Boom. That is what jammed it. Please watch closely. This is a continuation of the part I showed you earlier. And yet we start from the beginning. If it's a continuation, then why are we playing it back from the beginning? This panning camera. It's so weird. And boom, there it is. What's this? Something white fell out of the locker. But sir, it's been my experience that things fall out when doors are opened. I often fall out and roll great distances when I open my cart. We can't be sure. That item was in the locker to begin with. What do you mean? The sensor triggers the lock when the door is shut. What if something was inserted, say, between the sensor and the door? Inserted? I think we're onto something. This white thing wasn't inside the locker. It was stuck between the door and the sensor. Oh, I understand now, sir. It's just like my tie. 2 out of 3 times it gets stuck in the door when I get out of my patrol vehicle, sir. Instead of the door closing, my tie chokes me. But the object would have to be extremely thin to fit in the door. Not only that, but it would also have to block electrical currents. It would need to be an insulator. Yes, an insulator. But at the crime scene, there just might have been something that fits the description. But, sir, by insulator, you don't mean... I think I finally got this figured out. Very well. Would the defense please present the relevant evidence? What was the insulator that was stuck in the locker door? A glove? I found this near the locker. A thin rubber glove. But we can't be sure that was the victim's locker. It has a tag that says SL9 incident. There you go, Edgeworth. The video seems to depict the victim opening the locker. But that isn't the case. The lit lamp attests to this. On the day of the crime, even I could have opened that locker. Is it not so, Officer Meekins? Sir? It would appear so, sir. Order! 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 So are we to believe then that the victim, whom this witness stabbed in the evidence room, was not Detective Goodman? Do not be misled, Your Honor. What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth? The defense has merely demonstrated that possibility, and nothing more. The victim in this video was indeed Bruce Goodman. The prosecution will offer one more testimony to prove this. What? Officer Meekins, please testify about this. Sir? But me, sir? I'm not sure what you're referring to, sir. Oh! You mean that, sir? Of course, sir. Is this a joke? Very well. Begin your testimony. What else does he have? Mystery Man 2. There's another thing that proves the man was Detective Goodman, sir. To enter the evidence room, one must use their ID card. When an ID card's used, there's a record of it. At the time of the crime, the detective had used his card. So? An ID card record. I see. I have the ID card record right here, Your Honor. The ID used at 5:14 is that of the victim. Just before the crime, Yes, without a doubt, this is the victim's ID. However, one thing does strike me as unusual. Several hundred cases would have been should be due for transferal. Why are there so few people using this room? This particular evidence room is only used for storing certain special cases. Special cases? Extremely violent cases involving police staff. Just hearing that makes my hair stand on end. Me too, although it doesn't make much of a difference. There were only a few cases up for transferal there, and most were cleared up by noon. Right, I see. Now, let us move on to the cross-examination. Alright, so we have the ID card. I don't know if that would really help. There is. How do you know this? Earlier, I believe he testified that when you asked the man to show him his ID card, or show his ID card, he pulled a knife on you. Yes, sir. He didn't show me any ID cards, sir. Don't you think that's odd? I mean, if he had his ID card, all he had to do was show it to you. There wouldn't be any reason to draw a knife. But maybe he just panicked? Everything stems from contradictions. Let's point them out. Mr. Wright, what do you think? I'm confused. What? The problem with this ID card testimony is far too obvious. It's not like Edgeworth to miss something like this. You're thinking too hard about it. Come on, let's show them what they got. Should I present the ID card? It does seem too easy. Let's try it. Let's see what Edgeworth has planned for us. Wait one moment, Officer Meekins. I'm not good at waiting, sir. I have the victim's ID card right here. I found it at the crime scene. That makes sense. When I say crime scene, I'm not referring to the evidence room at the police department. I mean the other crime scene. The underground parking lot at the prosecutor's office. Your Honor, I have one more piece of evidence to present. It's a very important clue regarding the victim's ID card. Lost item report? It's only half completed. But it shows that Detective Goodman had lost something on the day of the crime. Something important enough to fill out this report. Let me guess. You believe this something to be his ID card, right? I can't say for sure, but there's a high probability. On the day of the crime, Detective Goodman was not carrying his card. This isn't good. We're proving that Goodman couldn't be at the evidence room, which means the one that did get killed is the real one. But there's nothing else we can do. Order. Order. So now, what does all this mean? It can only mean one thing. It doesn't require much thought. The man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman, but rather a man who stole his ID card. Not good. Order. Order. Does the prosecution have a response? I have only one thing to say to the defense. Bravo, Mr. Wright. Bravo? Allow me to summarize the defense's argument. At 5:15 p.m. on the day of the crime, the man Officer Meekins encountered in the evidence room was not Detective Goodman. There are two grounds to support this. First, the locker in the evidence room was already unlocked. Second, the victim lost his ID card. Am I correct so far, Mr. Wright? Yes. What's he up to? That being the case, we must inevitably arrive at the single conclusion. If the victim in this video is fake, then the murder in the evidence room is also fake. In other words, the security camera does not show the instant of the murder. That is, well, I guess that's right. Is something wrong, Mr. Wright? Only moments ago, you seemed content to be pointing your finger around. This isn't good. Well, well, it seems you finally realized exactly what you've gone to such lengths to prove. Explain yourself, Mr. Edgeworth. The defense has already done the explaining for me. The victim in this video was a fake, which means a murder did not take place at the police department at 5:15 on the day of the crime. So the real crime could only take place at one location, the underground parking lot, at the prosecutor's office, the murderer being Miss Lana Skye, the defendant. The evidence is compelling. A trustworthy witness. Observe the moment the defendant used the murder weapon. Yeah, we did bad. I knew that testimony was way too shabby. It was all a trap from the beginning. The activity in the evidence room still leaves many questions unanswered. Who exactly was the victim Officer Meekins encountered? And where did this person disappear to? However, this trial's purpose is to examine only the murder of Detective Goodman. Just so, Your Honor. Mr. Wright, you have to do something, or else Lana... What do I do? How am I supposed to get myself out of this mess? Object, I guess. One moment, Your Honor. What now, Mr. Wright? Don't tell me you're objecting to what you've just proven. Of course not. But I almost walked right into that prosecution's trap. What are you talking about? This cross-examination has proven one thing and one thing only. The security video did not show the actual murder. True. I don't know what else to do. However, it cannot be said that it is unrelated to the murder in the parking lot. Specifically, large amounts of blood traces were found in the evidence room. The defense demands further examination into the truth of the matter. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, Your Honor. If this court were to examine this further, other witnesses will be necessary. Is the prosecution prepared? I'm sorry, Your Honor. The prosecution considered the incident at the police department to be unrelated. We have not prepared any other witnesses for this incident. This just might be my chance. Time to call a certain Texas Ranger to the stand. Mr. Wright, do you mean? Your Honor, the defense would like to request a specific witness. Oh? Whom do you have in mind? Someone we have reason to believe knows the truth. The truth behind the activities that took place in the evidence room. The prosecution requests to hear this person's name before deciding whether or not to comply. Very well then, Mr. Wright. This person whom you would have testified, what is his or her name? Texas Ranger. Officer Jake Marshall. Why him? I can't let him know everything just yet. He's in charge of the evidence room. We feel we should hear what he has to say. The prosecution agrees to the defense's request. Since he was responsible for guarding the room, we should hear his testimony. Fortunately, he works in the police department. We shouldn't need longer than 20 minutes to prepare. Very well. The court will take a 30-minute recess while the witness is subpoenaed. Will the prosecution please prepare the witness during this time? We will, Your Honor. Court in recess. Oh, cool. We can take a break. So what do you think now, Lana? There's no stopping you, is there, Mr. Wright? Huh? What do you mean? You called for Jake Marshall. It seems you figured everything out. I haven't figured anything out. Lana, you're the one who knows everything. Emma, you always know everything. Why don't you just tell us? Mr. Wright's trying his hardest to protect you. I don't recall ever asking for his protection. It's not like I wanted or anything. How can you be so cold? Don't you trust us? Don't you trust me? Hope I'm not interrupting anything, pals. Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later. Please come back. Oh, Detective Gumshoe, what is it? He just slinks back like, oh, you've got a lot of nerve, pal, making the detective run around while on duty. To top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Sorry, detective. You better be, pal. Hey! 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 I didn't see you there, Miss Sky! That's okay. So, have you brought what I asked? Oh! 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 You mean this, right? My apologies, Detective. Due to my present circumstances, I was forced to use Mr. Wright's name when making my request. My name? Never in a million years would I have thought it was you who asked me. Could I bother you to bring me the SL9 incident files? I'll need them by noon. Talk about crazy. The SL9 incident? But Lena, that's... I thought Mr. Wright might need them, so I had them brought here. Here, you might do well to read them. Can't believe you, the chief prosecutor, were a witness in that case. Miss Sky was a witness. Interesting, that's also a lot of stuff to read in 20 minutes. Take it from me, you don't want anything to do with serial murders. Oh, what? Now that I brought your stuff, you're just gonna ignore me? Emma! But why? Why is your name in here? What? My name's in there? I don't know. Unless... No. It couldn't be. Lena, this SL9 incident, is that? That's the classification number the police filed it under. 2 years ago, the rest of the world knew it as the Joe Dark killings. The Joe Dark... No, Lana, that's over with. No! Emma, wait! She ran away. You know what? I just remembered. I gotta be somewhere. Sorry, pal, but I'm out of here. Everybody's bolting. Jake Marshall, Angel Starr, Damon Gant, Miles Edgeworth. Not to mention Lana and Emma. Everyone involved in this case is connected to those killings 2 years ago. This can't be just a coincidence. Knowing you, you just might be able to figure it out. Time to get back to the trial, Mr. Wright. Best of luck. I'd better take a good look at this file. To be continued. Okay, I know that we may be able to do the second part of the trial, but we're gonna have to talk to Jake Marshall and figure out what's going on with this case. So I feel like it's gonna be a bigger second half than we did with Gant. So we'll go ahead and leave this episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys on the next MAMJ Let's Play. There we go. I knew it. This is someone's right hand. What? What's the matter, Detective? This locker. It's mine. It's yours? Please. You have to help me. When they come to take me away, promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. I'm counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective.